strong skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just spell my wheels. I keep it in soul for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving it soldier chills. My dream is cold as chill. Star is treacherous, I effortlessly show skills. Yeah, let's go. Get first off the edge like I don't know no fear. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, this way before the deal.
Blow your mind.
Ooh, why you do that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it. Ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. With a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window?
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel-Elliott. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
This is taken at the 23. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 68 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Prescott from the gun. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded just inside the 30. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Let's go, D. Let's go. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Get it.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. Letting one fly. Touchdown, Giants. In for the score. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That one, a first down pickup of 8. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
From the 39, Prescott looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
That'll be a gain of 15 yards. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He gets 6-6. Pull it high. 5.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. So the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Prescott. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On second down, it's Pollard. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jacob Hollister there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score of 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 36, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Now Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. the way in. Touchdown, New York. Evan Ingram, 47 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the...
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Well, he's going to let this go for the end zone. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point splits the uprights, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Saquon Barkley. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
80 weapons. Bravo.
58's Mike. On the ball. 58's the Mike. 58's the Mike.
They gonna need some therapy after this.
Hey, 58 is a Mike. Go 58.
Hey, orbit. Hey, rock. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Final play of the half. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go. Let's go.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, here's Barkley. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They'll go to Barkley again. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Elliott on first down, going to get about 3 before he's taken down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 33-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Julian Love picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
All day, every day.
Hey, high 7.
54, right there, 54.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
We got this.
Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now Prescott, and he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 23 yards on the play.
1st down, Dallas.
Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Prescott now from the 50. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. First down, Prescott got his man there complete to Gallup. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, it's Elliott. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. Just enough to get the 1st down there with a 1-yard pickup. They'll run on 1st down. Elliott, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
50 seconds to mine. I got one.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott, he's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a giant 1st down on a gain of 16. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 13 yards, good for a giant 1st down. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now defensively they're going to burn their 1st time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Ready, set.
Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. Check.
Five.
Now a 1st carry for their fullback. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. Rosas' kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 30-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Trayvon Mullen, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
At the 39-yard line.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. They'll run with Barkley. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? And this one is right down the middle. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you've got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's a pretty darn good season.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.